Hey guys, Mike Teaches Programming here, and welcome to part 3 of our OpenAPI series. In today's episode, we are going to be looking at creating a post request. So in part 2, we looked at this GET request, and we've seen how we could return different responses, how we could return schema that we defined. So please go watch that if you haven't already. And let's just get started. Before that though, I just want you guys to make one change. So if we go to the POM outside of the two modules, so again, please watch part 1 if you haven't, and just change your Spring Boot version to 2.2.0 release, and also yeah, that's it. Just change it to 2.2.0. So I was playing around with this before, and some of the validation didn't work with the latest release of Spring Boot. So we can just change it for now, and if I figure out the fix for the later versions of Spring Boot, I will add that in the comments. But just change it to this release for now, so I can show you it working. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is go into our API. So again, that's in our API module, and under resources, test API.yaml. Now underneath books, we don't want to do a get, we want to do a post. So just post and enter. So you can see there I got an autocomplete. This is basically a plugin. So just go to your plugins, and if you just search for Swagger and download this one here, it will give you kind of autocomplete options or just different parameters you can use for your different endpoints. As well as that, you can right click on your API YAML and open in browser and Chrome, and it will bring you to this nice page where you can see all of your what it looks like at that given time. Again, you can use editor.swagger.io, and you'll have a live editing to your right while you change it on the left. But for now, we'll just do it here in IntelliJ. So the summary, this is going to be creates a book. The operation ID is create book. So the operation ID is just the method name. And for responses, we're just going to return 1 at the minute, and it's not going to be 200, it's going to be 201, and 201 means created. Created. So that's our post. It's basic, but what we don't have is a body for it, and what we want to include is our book class. So I think I did this before, but if I haven't, please put the required name here. So basically what this is saying is that in the book, the only field that is required for the post is name. The rest can be null. If you want author to be required as well, you can put it there, but just for the demo and to show you guys what is accepted when you don't put a parameter in there, I'm just going to leave name as the only required field for book. So how do we add this as a request body? So before that though, I just want to show you guys that the application does not have a post method there. So if I boot up the server, and you can do this in Chrome, or you can use your an application called Postman. So if I do a get on books, you can see there's just an empty array list there. Okay, or you can use Postman, so that's what I'm going to be using. And here's a get. A get on books will return, oh sorry, not library books, it's just / books. It will return empty array. But if I do a post, we will get a 405, which basically means it's not allowed, it's not there. So that is the method that we are adding. So here we want to add a new field or a new key called request body. The description doesn't need to be there, but it's nice to always have a description. So hello. Required is true, so let's put in required true. And then we want to point it to our book. So we type in content. It's an application JSON. schema, and we're going to reference our book schema that we have down below. So again, our schema of our book is referenced down below. You can control click that, it will bring you to the book. And basically what we're saying is inside the request body, it is required I want the book schema as a JSON format. There's all different types of schema. So if you want an XML, you can do that. If you want a file, you can add a file there, etc. So that's our post. So if we go into our main service module, you can see here in the controller that we only have one get. Now, if I do a Maven clean install on the whole project, what it's going to do is regenerate our interface from this API YAML file. Before there was one method, but now there will be two. So you can see that it's failing here on the second service. So our API module worked. So if I go into the source min Java com example, and if I go into our API, you can see now that we have a post on books, and it takes in a book as a parameter. And we also have our get from before. Now this here is because of the book controller. So if I go to the book controller, it's just complaining because we haven't implemented that method. So let's implement the post, and you can see here that we get the book and it's called body. So what I'm going to do is I'll just print out the body dot get name, because get name is required. I'll also debug it. So let's stop the server and reboot it in debug mode, and we will send requests and hopefully it will work. So could not find, okay, that's great. Let me just delete this configuration and apply an OK. Let me try it again. Hopefully it works this time. If it doesn't, I'll just move it. Yeah, okay, right, it's not working. I'll just move it. I'll move it back one. Maybe this might work. I don't know. Let's see. Okay, that worked. All right, so let's just boot it up our application now. And let's open up Postman. So what we want to do is we want to post to our server. So let's just post to books. So it's a post to books, and let's do an empty array for now, or an empty object. And you can see here we get a bad request back, so it won't go into the method. And that bad request is because we haven't included the required field name. So I could include author and it still will give me this bad request. So let's do that. If I put in author and I'll put in Mike, once I send this, it will still say, okay, bad request. Now you can capture this request, the bad request, and give a better message. That's fine, you can do that. But let's put in name, and the name is my book. And now, once I post that, it will be a 200 OK. So that pretty much means that it went through our whole thing. Now I didn't put it in debug mode, so I'll spin it up in debug mode and we'll see it enter here. So bear with me now while I spin it up again. Yep, there we go. Press send, and it's stuck here, and you can see that we have the book class mapped, my book and Mike, and those two values are coming from the body of the post that we just sent. So I think that's all for post that I can think of now. I just want it to be a short enough video. I don't know how long this has been going on for. There's not much to it. The reason why I said earlier to drop down this version was because the validation wasn't working for me. So you could send both the name and the author, even though they were required, but they would still come in as null. So in that case, you could just add your own validation here and then just return or throw a new bad request. That's fine if you want to do that. But it's nice to have the Swagger CodeGen validate that for you. That's pretty much it. So that's part 3. In the next part, we're going to look at path parameters. And then maybe the next part we'll look at stuff that I've missed, or maybe I'll answer questions from all the comments going back through the 4 videos. So yeah, if you did like this video, please like it. I'm sorry for being away for a couple of months. Work got busy and all that, but back for now. And yeah, like and subscribe if you'd like it, and part 4 will be soon. Thank you.